Hello students, this is Mrs. Sonal Patil. In our last class, we have studied about significance of double fertilization, post-fertilization structure and events in which we studied endosperm, embryo, dicot embryo and monocot embryo. Today we will study about seeds. In angiosperms, the seed is the final product of sexual reproduction. It is often described as a fertilized ovule. Seeds are formed inside the fruit. So seed is a fertilized ovule which is developed. So after double fertilization, the ovules develop into seeds. Seeds are formed inside the fruit. During the process, the zygote develops into an embryo. The triploid primary endosperm nucleus gives rise to the nutritive tissue called endosperm. The two integuments of the ovule becomes the seed coat. The outer integument develops into the outer hard and leathery seed coat called testa, while the inner one into the thin tegmen. The micropyle remains as a small pore in the seed. So here, as we have studied, it is a final product of fertilization and the ovules are maturing into seeds, whereas ovary develops into fruit, ovary wall into fruit wall, ovary develops into fruit, integuments as we have seen develops into seed coat, outer integument testa, inner integument tegmen, and ovule develops into the seed. During seed formation, the endosperm is consumed in varying amount by the developing embryo. Depending on this seed, it may be albuminous or non-albuminous. Albuminous seeds are those seeds in which the endosperm or the some endosperm that acts as food storage is retained. So the seed contains some endosperm that acts as a food storage tissue, example wheat, maize, coconut, sunflower, etc. So here the albuminous seeds are retaining the part of endosperm, whereas non-albuminous seeds are devoid of endosperm, example is pea, groundnut, etc. The nucellus is generally used up during the development of embryo, but in some seeds it remains around the endosperm in the form of thin layer called perisperm. So in some seeds remains of nucellus are present which is called perisperm. Very important question for 1 mark, example black pepper or beet. As seed mature, seed coat hardens, seed becomes dry and becomes dormant. This phenomena is called dormancy of seeds. Seeds may remain dormant for days, weeks, months or even years. The seeds of most of the plants germinate when they are provided with favorable conditions such as adequate moisture, oxygen and suitable temperature. So under favorable conditions, this period of dormancy gets over, oxygen and moisture enter the seed through micropyle and seed germination occur. Dehydration and dormancy of seeds is very important in agriculture. Dormant seeds are crucial for storage of food which can be used as food throughout the year and also used to raise crop in the next season. How long do the seeds remain alive after they are dispersed? This is a question. This period again varies greatly. So the viability period of seeds vary with the different species. In few species, the seeds lose viability within few months. Seeds of large number of species live for several years. Some seeds can remain alive for hundreds of years. There are several records of very old yet viable seeds. The oldest is that of lupine, Lupinus arcticus, excavated from Arctic tundra. Here, the seed germinated and flowered after an estimated record of 10,000 years of dormancy. And a recent record of 2000 years viable seed is of the date palm Phoenix dactylifera, discovered during archaeological excavation at King Harold's palace near Dead Sea. So this is about the viability of the seeds. Here you can see monocot seed and the dicot seed. Monocot seed showing endosperm, scutellum, coleoptile, plumule, radicle, coleorhiza, aileron layer, seed coat and the fruit wall. Whereas dicot seed, here you can see two cotyledons, plumule, radicle. So this is the monocot seed and the dicot seed. Here again the same diagram has been shown of the monocot and the dicot seed. Monocot with a single cotyledon, dicot with two cotyledons. Coming to the fruit, as the ovules develop into seeds, fertilization stimulates the growth of ovary into fruits. The wall of the ovary develops into wall of the fruit called pericarp. The fruits may be fleshy as in mango, orange, tomato, guava, etc. or may be dry as in coriander, hibiscus, sunflower. Fruits are broadly classified into two main categories, true fruits and false fruits. The fruits derived only from ovary are called true fruits, example tomato, brinjal, etc. The false fruits are derived from the ovary along with thalamus and other accessory floral parts. Example, a very good example for false fruit is apple, strawberry, cashew, fig, etc. In most of the species, fruits are the result of fertilization. Such fruits are called parthenocarpic fruits. Natural parthenocarpy is observed in plants like banana and certain varieties of grapes. It is due to higher concentration of growth regulator auxin in the ovaries before fertilization. Parthenocarpy can be induced through the spray of synthetic growth regulator NAA or IBA. So NAA and or IBA are the growth regulators. By spraying these growth regulators, parthenocarpy can be induced and such fruits are seedless. Very important question in exam will be asked as what are parthenocarpic fruits. So the fruits which are developed without fertilization are called as parthenocarpic fruits. Two types of fruits as we have discussed, true fruits and the false fruits. Now coming to advantages of seed. Seeds can remain dormant as we have seen for many years and germinate on the return of favorable conditions. Reproductive process is not dependent on water. Seeds have sufficient food reserve to initiate embryo development and seedling development till photosynthesis process is initiated. Hard seed coat protects the embryo from the environment extremes. Seeds have better adaptive strategies for dispersal to new habitats and help the species to colonize in other areas. Being products of sexual reproduction, they generate new genetic recombinations leading to variations. So they are leading to variations So these are the advantages of having seed to the angiosperms. Coming to the next concept is apomixis and polyembryony. Apomixis, these questions will be asked for 1 mark or maybe for 2 marks, very important. Although seeds in general are the products of fertilization, a few flowering plants such as some species of Asteraceae and grasses have evolved a special mechanism to produce seeds without fertilization, and this phenomena is called as apomixis. So it is the development of seeds without fertilization, and this term apomixis was coined by Winkler. He defined it as the process of asexual reproduction during which there is no nuclear fusion of male and female gametes. So it is the type of asexual reproduction that mimics sexual reproduction. It includes all types of asexual methods without the fusion of male and female gametes. There are several ways of development of apomictic seeds. In some species, the diploid egg cell is formed without reduction division and develops into the embryo without fertilization. If you see the importance of apomixis, apomixis provides the possibility of indefinite multiplication of favorable biotype without any variations. It is of considerable value in genetics because by this homozygous types may be obtained. Even by apomixis, a particular race may be retained. This importance of apomixis is used to transfer apomictic seeds into hybrid varieties and hybrid seed industry to raise desired plants. So that was about apomixis. Coming to polyembryony, the name itself is telling is many embryos. So here this is a process. It is nothing but it is a phenomena of development of more than one embryo in the seeds. It was first discovered by Antony van Leeuwenhoek in orange seeds. Polyembryony is quite common in angiosperms, but it is rare in polyembryony is quite common in gymnosperms, but it is rare in angiosperms. This is common in lemons, oranges, etc. Polyembryony plays an important role in plant breeding and horticulture. Haploid embryos are used to raise homozygous diploids. Adventive embryos are used to provide genetically uniform seedlings in some fruit trees. Recognizing their tremendous value in crop improvement, scientists have been doing several experimental trials to produce haploid and adventive embryos. So this is about the polyembryony. For today's class, we'll stop here and we will see about the last part. Hybrid varieties of several of our food and vegetable crops are being extensively cultivated. Cultivation of hybrids has tremendously increased productivity. One of the problems of hybrid is that hybrid seeds have to be produced every year. If the seeds collected from hybrids are sown, the plants in the progeny will segregate and do not maintain hybrid characters. Production of hybrid seeds is costly, and hence the cost of hybrid seeds become too expensive for the farmers. So very important concepts are these two, apomixis and polyembryony. If these hybrids are made into apomict, there is no segregation of characters in the hybrid progeny. then the farmers can keep on using the hybrid seeds to raise new crop year after year, and he does not have to buy hybrid seeds every year. These are the assignment questions. The first question is, name the part of the flower which develops into fruit after fertilization. 1 mark. What is apomixis? What is polyembryony? What are false fruits? Give an example. What are parthenocarpic fruits? Give example. And the fifth question, write 3 advantages offered by the seed to angiosperm, which will be asked for 3 marks. So these are your assignment questions. And for today's class, we'll stop here. In the next class, we will begin with the next chapter. So this chapter, that is the sexual reproduction in flowering plants, is over, and I have already given you the assignment for the part of the chapter which has been taught. So you have to solve these assignments questions, and very important questions have been given to you all. These assignment questions, you please solve it, and this ends your chapter, the second chapter. In our next class, we will begin with the next chapter. So thank you.